Good morning, everyone. Welcome. So today is the day 99 of this program. It's 5 o'clock, so time to get started. Um, I don't know about where you are, but right now I'm in Kerala and Trivandrum, and you can't hear that, but it's just outside the window. It's like raining pretty heavily, and it's quite cold. Not cold as in like Himalayan cold, but nice cold. So nice weather. Okay, so time to get started. So today I have some time, so we will do some meditation as well, and yeah, and we'll get started with the morning routine. Now, since we're doing meditation, let me we'll just talk about the working out part first, and then meditation we'll do live. Um, yeah, so last time we spoke about general workout, we spoke about running, we spoke about building endurance. Right? I think we have covered most of the ideas. The only thing that what are the other things that we can talk about? Um, yeah, so mainly injuries. So mm, when you're doing any kind of workout, right? um, one mistake once in a while I've made, I think twice or thrice, is not warming up. And especially on the days when you feel enthusiastic, you just sort of get up and just jump into it. So people talk about the warm up routine and cool down routine. I'm pretty bad at both. I sort of try to avoid doing it, but now I've become more careful. Especially warm up. Cool down is still, if you, even if you skip, it's sort of okay because your body will, that's got a natural way of cooling down. But warming up is something which is very critical. And how do you warm up? So, the pretty standard routines. I'm not going to get into it. Essentially, the whole idea of warm up is two or three fold. So, one is to get your sort of um, blood circulation up, and heartbeat up. Second is the joints, etc. So let's say shoulder joints, knee joints. So not joints would get exercised. If we suddenly put a lot of pressure, if they are not already mobile, then that can become a problem. And sometimes what I found was, once I was doing bench press, and um, I had probably not done enough warm up, and I sort of sprained my right one, not very badly, but it stayed for many weeks, almost for like 2 months. It was hurting, and I think it was because when you're not done the warm ups, your muscles are sort of not ready to support, and I think it takes a little bit of time for the muscles to come into action. So when I do running, even today, I don't do a lot of warm up. But then what I do is I start jogging at a very slow, very comfortable pace. So when I jog for a comfortable pace for about 10 minutes, automatically in that process, you get warmed up. But if you're doing weight training, etc., then you need to be especially careful, and you can do joint rotations, a little bit of walking, jumping jacks. So those are my favorite things. But again, you can check up a routine. But the more important thing is start with a warm up. So avoiding injury is like very, very, very important. Sometimes very often what happens is, like in Hindi they say, "Josh mein hosh nahi khona hai." Like, when you are really pumped up, don't lose good sense and judgment. So yes, I mean, I ask you to push yourself, but push yourself in terms of the endurance you're building, and how long you are working out, etc. Not in terms of not in terms of the intensity, and not by a huge margin. Right? Obviously, you have to push yourself, but in small steps. So working out, do for half an hour to 45 minutes. If you can do for an hour, that's great. And um, that workout it's a exercise not just for the body, but also for the mind. And once you've done a rigorous workout in the morning, it'll give you may feel like it tires you out, but I would say, honestly, it energizes you. Sometimes if you work very long, let's say there are days, occasionally, when the amount of workout I do, I probably increase by a couple of sets. So then it can become physically a little bit tiring. It does happen once in a while. But despite that, on almost every day I work out, it makes me feel much more energized, much more ready for the day. Now, meditation. So as I said, we are going to do live meditation today. So before that, a couple of things. So if anybody wants to drop off, I mean, we may I'll not make it very long, but we'll do it for some time. So if you want to do meditation on your own, I'll just tell you how to do it. You can leave, and if you want to continue, you obviously are most welcome to continue. Now, for meditation, there are different ways of doing it. They seem very different. They're pretty much all of them are 99% they are the same. And the whole idea of meditation is you focus on something. So in the Buddhist meditation techniques they have, which is uh, which is the mindfulness meditation. There you focus on your breath, and I teach the very not teach really. I do the very we practice the basic form. There are obviously more advanced forms and meditation on compassion. There are lots of nuanced concepts which we don't get into. So we go with the very basic stuff. Then there is a transcendental meditation, which is you focus on a particular mantra. Even some people who are religious, you have seen in different religions, some people have the rosary bead and they're counting. That also is actually nothing but it's a kind of meditation, because what are they doing? So you're counting those beads and you're making your mind focus on something, and that activity that you're doing, it doesn't have any it is not very meaningful, so which means it doesn't really create any emotion in your head, right? So it keeps you sort of emotion free. And that is how that's another way to meditate. That, I mean, they don't think of it as meditation, think of it as a prayer. But a lot of prayer, a lot of chanting, all those things also are, they are sort of a kind of a meditation, right? So our meditation, we will ask you to um, sit comfortably on a chair, cushion, sofa, wherever. Take back support if you want. Take a few deep breaths. So deep, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And uh, and after that, let your so maybe 5 to 10 deep breaths, right? Forceful deep breaths, right? So right, so do that about 5 10 times, and after that, let your breath become normal, and then just focus on the breath. And as you do that, your mind will sort of wander again and again. And whenever you realize, bring your attention back to the breath. So that is what meditation is, which we are going to do now. Before we start, there's some question. Devansh has a question. On days we have a tough time sleeping early at night, how do we still wake up at 5 a.m. and go about the day with less sleep? Um, well, first of all, I'm not a big proponent of less sleep. Once in a while, it's okay. For a day or two, it's okay. But on a regular basis, less sleep is it's a terrible idea. Causes a lot of. I think it does a lot of harm to the body. And one of them is two things I can tell you right away. If you don't sleep for if you get, let's say, 4 to 5 hours sleep for a long period of time. And by the way, I have gone through all of this. I'm sharing my personal experience as well. One is your stress levels, stress and irritability goes up dramatically. You don't do it for like a couple of weeks, couple of months. It's going to happen. Second thing is your memory, ability to grasp things, especially short-term memory. It really gets affected. Now, if you have tough time going to sleep early at night, I think probably it's a matter of building a routine. Maybe let's say if you're initially a few days it might be hard, but if you stick to it, so let's say you say, okay, this particular time, 10 o'clock, my light will go off, right? And 4:45, whatever is the time is your alarm goes off. So if you have fixed time, gradually your body will get used to it. But for some reason, if you are not able to sleep early on a regular basis, whatever reason, maybe your body doesn't allow or your job doesn't allow, whatever, then I would say waking up at 5 a.m. is not the right answer. In which case, you'll have to wake up whatever time so that you get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, even if not every day, on most days. Harsha, the question: I do not feel like doing exercise and meditation today. Why do we feel sometimes? Well, that's how human body is. Um, our mind and body, it seeks rest, it seeks pleasure, it seeks uh, your mind wants instant gratification, things which give you immediate immediate satisfaction, immediate pleasure. Working out gives you, so two things. First of all, people who are not in the habit of working out, for them working out doesn't give any pleasure at all. Second, people who are in the habit of working out, for them also workout gives you pleasure, but only after like half an hour. Right? So that's the nature of human mind. And how do you rule it out? You overcome it by through habits and through commitment. Right? So every single day, even today, if I woke up at whatever time, 4:30 or whatever time, and if I um, If I had slept till like 6 o'clock, it feels better, right? Sleep a little more time. At least you think it's nice. But um, since I'm part of this thing now, my for last 100 days, mind and body now it's gotten used to it. So now when I wake up, even if I've not had enough sleep, which happens fairly often, it's not that big a problem. So I think the answer to this question is mind is like that. It will seek a easy way out, and you have to build these habits where you don't give in to those things. You just do those things, and if you don't get sleep during, let's say, one day you miss sleep don't get enough sleep at night, you can catch up during the day. Whenever possible, take an hour-long nap. You'll feel fine. Let's just say hello to everybody here, and then we'll start the meditation. Because after that, anybody wants, we can leave. So Harsh, Pranay, Sagar, Shagun, Srishti, Lalita, Joycey, Devansh, Nilaki, Hemant, Abhishek, Suresh, Suraj, Rajesh, some people, Rakesh, Nidesh, Chetna, Prithvi, Ashwath, Febin, Thomas, Ishan, Sachin, Shashank, Shreya, Mayank, Devansh, Naresh, Saira, Ritik, Ketan, and Novak Djokovic. Wow, so Novak Djokovic is here. Welcome. Okay, guys. So thanks for joining. Lovely to have you here. Srishti has a question. When you go to bed, do you fall asleep instantaneously? So I do not. Um, so people who have done sleep studies, research on that shows that I think the average time, it varies, but about 15 to 20 minutes sort of seems to be the time that people normally take. However, it depends upon you as an individual. When I was in college, then I used to, I don't know, I wanted to sleep all the time. And I could have fallen asleep. I would have fallen asleep in less than 5 minutes every day, maybe like even 2, 3 minutes. If I'm tired, then it will be like literally 1 minute. Nowadays, even if I'm tired, it takes time. So maybe just it's body cycle getting used to it. But no, for most people, it's not instantaneous. If it's taking 15 to 20 minutes, it's pretty normal. Right? Okay, so now time to get started with the meditation. So everyone, okay, first thing is, if those of you who want to drop out, you can drop out now and just follow your own schedule. And those of you who want to continue with the meditation, you can continue to do that. Right? Okay, let's get started. Another 10 seconds for people to drop off. Okay, so if you haven't dropped off, I'm assuming that you are part of the meditation, in which case you may just make yourself comfortable. Put your phone, laptop, whatever in front of you, and if you wear specs, you may take it off. And now we'll start. Just your body. Okay, now let's get started. We'll start with a few deep breaths. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Let's do that. Forceful deep breath in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Couple more. Now with the next breath, we will gently close our eyes. So breathe in. Breathe out. Now, with the eyes closed, let the breathing revert to its normal, natural rhythm. And let us just feel the weight of our body pulling us down, and imagine that it's making you settle down on the chair or the ground, and just pay attention to the sensation of body applying pressure on the chair or the floor. Now we'll take our attention to the sounds around us in the environment and observe them. And we'll be surprised to hear soft, gentle sounds which we normally never notice. Maybe the sounds of bird, maybe the fan, maybe it's raining. So just observe those sounds without judging them. Now we'll take our attention to different parts of the body and do a body scan, just to become aware of the different sensations in the body. So we'll start from the top of the head and gradually go down, observe any sensations without judging them, without trying to change anything. So starting from the top of the head, observe any sensations in the head, the forehead, back of the head, the whole head. Now observe the sensations in the face. Neck and shoulders, the left shoulder, the right shoulder. The arms, the left arm, the right arm. The chest, back, spine, abdomen. Scan the whole portion from top to bottom gently and observe any sensation. Now scan the lower body, starting from the waist, going down, the hips, the seat, thighs, knees, the shin, calves, the ankle, feet, and the toes. Just go down and observe any sensations without judging them, without trying to change them. Just accept it, just observe them. Now we'll take our attention to the breath, and we'll just observe the breath. And as we breathe, there are different sensations in the body. So there's a sensation at the tip of the nose. There is a coolness and movement of air that we feel in the nostrils. There's a sensation in the stomach as it expands. You can focus on any one of those sensations and just count from 1 to 10 with every breath. And after that, you start again, starting from 1. As we do that, our mind will wander, it'll get distracted. It's a normal thing, natural thing. When that happens, the key is to not blame yourself, not get frustrated. Just remind that you have a thought and let the thought go and bring your attention back to the breath. So we'll have to do that again and again and keep counting. If you lose count, that's okay, no problem. Just start from what you remember. Remember, there is no wrong way of doing meditation. This is just a simple act of training our mind to focus on the breath. So now we'll observe our breath and count from 1 to 10 and repeat the process. Now, as and when you're comfortable, taking your own time, you may gently open your eyes. Okay, so that was it for today. Now, time to do the rest of the routine and get started. Thanks, everyone. So today was day 99. Tomorrow is the 100th day of the program. So if possible, do join. And I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.